Hey, everybody, and welcome to Just Another Nerdy Podcast. I'm Jay.
I'm Will.
I'm Ty.
Hey, guys. So, for those of you who don't know, these are my friends actually from high school. Like, I've been friends with these guys forever. However, they were super gracious enough to come and actually be on the podcast. Will has been off at school for a while, and Ty lives in like an hour and a half away, 2 hours.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, you live forever away. It's maybe not, but for me, it's forever. But anyways, these guys are gracious enough to actually jump in on the podcast today. And then, so for those of you who are curious and you want to be able to find us, we always stream live every Wednesday at noon on twitch.tv/justanothernerdypodcast. You can find us on YouTube. You can watch the podcast later on there. You can actually just Google Just Another Nerdy Podcast. Find this mug. It'll show up. I'll be holding 2 Surge cans. And then you can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and CastBox if that's your speed. And you can download us and put a little nerdy into your pocket. So that's the way to find us there. But this week, guys, we have a special week. We're all Christmassy. Christmas is like next week. Well,
Sans one, but
yeah.
Christmas doesn't come to impoverished college students.
No, not always, but we're kind of there. So yeah, we kind of dressed up a little bit. Last week we talked about our favorite Christmas movies. So if you guys want to check that out, Drake and Drizzt was on last week, and we talked about favorite Christmas movies. We can still talk a little bit about it a little bit later, but first, just want to say a big thank you to these guys for coming in. Like Will was in town, and I asked Ty, I was like, "Are you going to be in town?" He's like, "No, but I'm pretty close by. I can still show up." And you were super nice, and you like drove all the way here.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, I had to pick up presents for my dad. He still works in town, so.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. You were picking up presents or dropping presents off?
Picking up.
You were getting your presents.
Yes.
Did you open them?
Yes.
What were they?
The 3D bed lamp, whatever.
Oh.
One of those like floating ones.
Hi, Chris. Chris is for those of you guys who don't know, watches like every episode live. Like he's here every time, and he lives in Brooklyn, so he's like 2 minutes away.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. So
Small world.
So you got a bed lamp? Did you get anything else or?
Wool mittens.
Wool mittens. That's actually a pretty good gift. I'm finding the more like comfortable stuff. Like I don't know, like a good pair of mittens, like a good pair of gloves or mittens, a nice warm coat, and like nice warm boots are. I'm getting into tangible things for Christmas. Yeah. Like when people get you underwear and jeans, I'm like, yes.
That was Malcolm, not Brooklyn.
Oh, Malcolm. I'm sorry.
Still pretty
Chris,
close.
I always say that, and you're always like, yeah, no, it's Malcolm. I'm dressed as Jay from State Farm again, but if he were to... I mean, it's actually Jake, but if he were to be a little Christmassy... I lost my Christmas sweater. I'm pretty sure I donated it in the move. Like, when I moved over to this house. I haven't even shown Ty the full house. Like, Ty just walked in, and we're like, let's podcast. So...
Check it out later.
Yeah, we're gonna give him the full tour later on. Chris always makes a joke about how he's in the bushes, so you might see him out there poking his head out, like, "Hey."
The bushes are pretty bare right now.
Yeah. I love that bush because you can see there's a lot of fruit in there. So I'll just be like playing video games, and a squirrel will just kind of walk up and start looking at me. And he's like, I'm like, "Hey," and he'll just eat and just stare at me. I'm like, "All right." Or robins will pop up and stuff. It's pretty cool. So, okay. I figure we'll get into the nerdy news real quick for this week. We don't have a whole lot of nerdy news. This week was kind of bare, but like there's a couple of big notes. Just today, they actually released pictures of Will Smith as the Genie in the Aladdin movie.
He's going to be the Genie?
Yeah, he's going to be the Genie.
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, well, so if you're not going to do Robin Williams, because clearly you can't.
Yeah. For fairly obvious reasons.
If you're not going to do that, Will Smith is a damn good choice. And he looks all right. I don't know. You guys can take a look. We won't be able to pop it up on the podcast, but hey, this is an audio thing anyway, so we're gonna have to tantalize you with your ears. But
Pretty nice.
he looks all right. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not blue. They're doing that thing where he wears blue, and then that's them being like he's blue. But he looks good. He looks, I would say, of Jin culture. I don't know.
Jin culture.
That's the best, most politically correct way I could think of just trying to say it on the spot.
Doesn't look any worse than Shazam.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's pulling it off better than Shaq. But yeah, they got pictures of the main cast. Everything looks fine. I don't know. I'm still waiting to kind of see it. Guy Ritchie's directing it. He's the one he did like Rock and Rolla, and the most recent King Arthur. I was gonna say Robin Hood, but I don't think he did Robin Hood. But that movie bombed.
I don't really get the obsession of taking old animated movies and turning them into live action movies. That seems to
Disney's
be
just money hungry.
Yeah, I was gonna say because money. That's why.
I guess. But
I think and I think it's kind of your dream to be able to see it, see this thing that you loved and obsessed over in live action. It's just so risky.
Making it newer for like kids. Like there's like a lot of kids nowadays haven't seen any of like the animated movies.
Yeah, but then you just start getting into like the really creepy territory. Like, have you seen the Detective Pikachu trailer at all?
Yeah.
You get the real full uncanny valley effect from that.
I'm into it. I dig that trailer.
My nephews are, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just
Realistic
me. But
Pokemon are super creepy though.
yeah, it's scary.
So they did the greatest thing is they put a lot of energy and effort into making Pikachu look good. However, like the Mr. Mime, like if
he has peach fuzz on his head.
If you ran into that thing, like that would be creepy as shit. If you ran into that just out in the wilderness.
The photorealistic Charizard at the end of it, that was
just a lot of lore in the game is actually creepy itself.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Mime apparently would like become like kids like stepfathers in like the actual lore.
Oh. Wait, what?
Yeah. It was like one of the Pokedex details was like saying that like parents would, if they didn't have a father, would use a Mr. Mime to like take over the father role and stuff.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's super fucked up.
Considering there's some Pokemon that are just like actually like the spirits of humans and stuff after they die.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's some Detective Pikachu shit right there. I hope they get into. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a gamble. Sometimes it can pay off and like go really, really well. Like, for instance, I was not that big into the Jungle Book, so when they remade it, I was pleased.
They've remade it twice now.
Well, yeah, then they just put the Andy Serkis one up, which I'm having trouble getting the energy to go see it.
Valley.
Yeah. However, I don't know. I think it's just they want some money, and they're getting the money. Kids, yeah. I mean, reintroducing kids to something that we absolutely loved when we were their age, which is a weird thing to say anymore. Like, I was obsessed with Aladdin, so seeing Aladdin be remade, I'm on the fence because either A, you're gonna have Robin Williams, or you're gonna have this failure of trying to do what they do. Oh, hey sis, my sister's watching. How we doing? How's Korea? What is Chris saying? Oh, he's I have terrible eyesight. So if any of you guys can read that,
he's just saying hi to your sister.
Okay. I'm gonna try and bring up the video here so then I can actually, since I have like an actual thing. But yeah, so that was one big news. The other thing is like Nintendo is deciding to kind of chill out on the whole trying to go after streamers, or YouTube creators and streamers and stuff. Like they're cutting back on like trying to demonetize them. They're also removing the Nintendo's Partners program, which is where they actually are able to take a chunk of the people's pay or like their AdSense revenue and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
So Nintendo is like they're chilling out. They're not being as big of jerks, I guess.
They're letting people make like mods and stuff for their games yet?
Maybe not that much.
Yeah. I was gonna say
baby steps. It's Nintendo.
So I guess what it is, like, if you're doing transformative content, so if you're doing like commentary and stuff, they're not going to go after you. I think they said like if you're sharing out their stills that are specifically pulled from like the Wii U or the Switch, they're still going to go after you. Like they're still kind of, so they're not there yet, but like progress. Everyone's like, yay.
They are still out there for a lot of stuff like the whole ROM base. If you're into emulators or emulated games, like they have been hitting those very hard this year.
Even the custom Pokemon games too.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry, but like if you're gonna go after ROMs, maybe they need to do a better job of like
porting them.
Yeah, well, porting them over.
They do port them a lot. They have Virtual Console on almost all of their. Does the Switch have Virtual Console?
No, they have had an active stance against the Virtual Console on the Switch.
Their online service that has a bunch of their older games, but still like it's like their super old games, not like. Yeah. Like their Game Boy games and stuff aren't on there.
They do have a lot of ways though in their defense to actually go out and legally purchase their games. So I can understand them defending their copyrights and defending their trademarks. But
I'm just saying on their most valuable console, where like portability is key.
Yeah,
and they still haven't put anything out on there. They need to get their shit together. Like honestly. Yeah, he says I need Dr. Farnsworth glasses. Yeah. I have Dr. Farnsworth glasses. They're just they're super thick and they're actually like made to be thinner. Like they're thinner than they're supposed to be, and they're still. I think part of the problem is that layer's coming off. Like it's like a layer that goes over the top of your glasses that like increases the strength a little bit, and that's starting to come off. So I need to get new glasses, but like our town's having a bit of a shakeup right now, where like, so the hospital's getting a whole new insurance thing, which is where I get my insurance from because my wife technically works for them.
Yeah. And
then so there were 2 eye doctors in town. A third split off from one of the other ones. That third one is taking that insurance, but they're the only ones. And then the one that they split off from tried to sue them, but then they ran out of money. So hopefully they're still going to be around for the next year or so. So then I can actually go to them and get my eye insurance, get my eyes worked on. Because that was my actual eye doctor too. He was really cool. Not so much today, but I have terrible vision. Like I have bulletproof glasses. My glasses are so thick. This is a literal thing. They cast a shadow. Mm-hmm. They don't like light does not go through my glasses.
Thicker too.
Yeah, they did. Well, it's just kind of depends on the frames too. Like I actually got a really good pair of frames this last time, which I was asking if I could keep them, and they're like, no. I was like, damn you.
Yeah,
you guys are bastards.
Before all the college stuff, I actually considered the. Have you ever thought of the LASIK eye surgery getting?
Yeah, well, so according to my sister who's in Korea, she says it's actually really cheap out there.
It's really cheap here too.
Yeah, I'm just terrified.
I mean, I don't really blame you, but it's outpatient, so you're in and out, and
a lot of places too. Like if your eyesight starts to go bad, like they'll just bring you back in for no charge and fix it back.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems that I have is the thing with because most of my vision problems are from the shape of my eye, not from like actual like just standard vision problems.
Yeah.
So there's the things that can't be fixed through surgery. So it would just me be going from like thick glasses to thinner glasses.
Gotcha.
So I feel like it's still spending a lot of money for nothing.
Not a lot of benefit.
I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
Jay, I can be your seeing eye dog. Rough. Thanks, Chris. I like the offer there. Thank you. Let's see here.
Did you hear about Kingdom Hearts getting leaked? The new one?
Oh yeah, it was just recent, or I think last night actually.
Yeah, that's where I heard about.
Yeah.
I heard the song. Oh, like the game got leaked last.
Actual copies of the game, like a lot of them got leaked. Like there's some guys selling them on Facebook apparently.
Yeah,
Holy crap!
People were putting the ending cinematics up on YouTube, and yeah, it was kind of a big deal.
The game's like 6 weeks away too.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh really?
That's got to be tough for those developers. I feel really bad for them.
Didn't that happen with another game recently too?
Not that
there was a game I feel like they technically, like, someone actually straight up leaked the game, and I was like, I didn't know you could leak a game. Like, I don't know. It threw me off. I don't know if it was like Red Dead or maybe Pokemon. But there was a game recently that got leaked. Like, it straight up got leaked. So to see that happen again, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's also...
Well, seeing it from such a big publisher is...
Yeah. Well, and that was the last one that happened, too. That was the thing I was thinking was, like, that was a huge... Like, that's...
I mean, I guess when you're...
That's not a small publisher.
You got more employees you got to worry about and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
As long as my Death Stranding is okay, that is.
Oh, are you pumped for that one?
I am. I'm never ever going to be able to play it because obviously I'm not a console gamer.
Wait, what is this?
Death Stranding. It's Hideo Kojima's new title.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that weird ass thing where he's got the baby in a jar.
Yeah,
it's the guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Norman Reedus.
Yes.
Guillermo del Toro shows up in there.
Yep.
In like the trailer, like what the what?
He's got a bunch of actor or high name actors, and he was actually spotted in New York this weekend, and I think it was Kanye West who requested a meeting with him after he was spotted on the New York subway.
Sweet Jesus!
It's just all sorts of weird stuff just follow that man.
I think Kanye just likes to hang out with people. Like he was like, I request a meeting with Donald Trump, and he met with him, and people and then nothing happened. Like didn't change anything, but it was a big it was a big ordeal.
About each other.
Yeah, it was a big ordeal. Like people were, I think he just likes to hang out with people, which. If Kanye saw me and was like, hey, I want to hang out, I'd be like, I'll fucking hang out with Kanye. It'd be a story.
He's certainly an interesting character, for sure.
I know. Well, and that's the thing. Like, it's not about, like, actually gaining anything from it. It's just having that experience of, like, that afternoon you got to hang out with Kanye West.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the same thing would happen. Like, if I got to hang out with Mel Gibson, I'd be like, so tell me your feelings on the Jews.
I don't think that's going to go well. I don't think that's going to go well for either
it would go amazing because it would be a story. If you don't... You're going to cringe through half of it, but when you actually, like, hear everything he's got to say, you're going to be like, well, that was fun. Like, there's a point where, like, Kanye was on Ellen a while back, and he went on... like the craziest rant about what was it? It was about like inner city kids and all these problems, and everyone's focusing on him and his fashion, and it just the rant that he went on was just the most fantastic rant.
I think Chris has got a good point. Is it would you want to hang out with Kanye before Kim Kardashian or after Kim Kardashian?
I would
both at the same time.
Yeah, both at the same. Well,
actually,
I mean, it wouldn't be a hard meeting to schedule the two of them together since they're married.
There was you know who lives next to him? Kathy Griffin.
Really?
Evidently lives next door to Kanye and Kim.
Is she just constantly out her window with binoculars?
She said because she obviously was going through a pretty hard time. She did an interview with Stephen Colbert on the Late Show.
Yeah.
And after the whole I shouldn't say incident, she did a cover for a magazine where she had a severed head of Donald Trump.
Yeah, she had the president's head severed.
So pretty much everybody in America stopped giving her work after that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So she was looking. She ended up raising her career back over in Europe, which it was a pretty interesting interview. I would recommend watching it, but. She mentioned that one of the things that got her through was that she could just open her window and there were Kanye and the Kardashians, just right there.
I'm in. So here's the thing. I'm one of actually the few people in the world that have like a lot of respect for the Kardashians. So Tiana, who's on this as well, she's actually told me stories about like she's so most of the Kardashians are actual like full published writers who write full books. Like they know how to write a book.
Yeah.
Which is not something a lot of Americans can do. Like some people can, but they write intelligible books and they run a very successful business and even an empire almost to a point. Yes, Kim can write like children's books. But it's still like this idea, like they're business women. They also know how to take like a few seconds of fame and turn it into something bigger. I almost think that Kanye isn't like, I don't think that's an interpersonal relationship. I think he's a trophy. Like they're like, you know what? I like him. I think it looked great on my mantle. So they roped him in, because he's always an entertaining piece. Like I would hang out with Kanye all day because he's always interesting. Like there's never a point where Kanye's boring. So
there's always this, or oftentimes there's a kind of a difference between the public persona that is kind of created with these celebrities and what they actually, how they actually are off camera. It's the same thing with the Duck Dynasty guys back then. But they presented themselves as these backwoods rednecks when in reality they were living in a mansion, and they were all businessmen. Every single one of them. So.
But Chris Goodrich feels bad for all the guys in that family and all the guys that enter the family. The Kardashians tend to like ruin guys in general. Like, was it like Khloe's husband like went through a really rough time? Kanye has problems beyond like them though. Like his biggest issue is the he's in a car accident like a long time ago, and they think that maybe he's like suffered severe brain damage.
Oh.
And so that's partially why he's like so out there, because of all the head trauma, because they say that can really change you, and that can, and I've heard of instances, but I don't know, like I do think a lot of the men go through a rough time, even the brother, like the Kardashian brother, like the 4 women, because there's the 3 sisters and the mom. Oh no, 6, because then they have the 2 other sisters too now. They all have their shit together, I think. Like, at least somewhat. It's the guys that kind of come out a little bit, like, rougher. I don't know. This is a weird tangent we're on. But, yeah. Okay, let's look. Okay, so, KFC is coming out with a fried chicken scented fire log for Christmas. So...
Just want your house to apparently smell like fried chicken.
If you love KFC that much... look it up, I guess. I don't know. Actually, I'm just gonna see, can I get this? I want to see if I can get it on Amazon.
You have a fire.
I think 2018 is just one of these years where just bad ideas come bubbling up to the surface.
I want like quite a few of those logs now.
Just this morning, I was watching a commercial with my dad on daytime television. They have have you seen the Screamers?
What?
So they're little like spider things. Obviously they're meant for kids, and when you scream at them, they move and they jump around and they jiggle.
Who would do that?
I guess you give those to whichever parent you hate the most.
Yeah.
And so that their kids can sit there and scream all day at their toy.
We're gonna get some of those from my brother.
Oh, yeah, actually do
it.
Absolutely.
Do it.
That was last year. I sent him a glitter bomb.
They don't have KFC fire logs, but they do have a lot of scented fire logs on Amazon. I don't know where you would get these KFC fire logs. It came up instantly in the search.
Yeah, get them at the restaurant.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you'd probably have to go into can I get a fire log? So we should just do that. Just go into KFC like just today and be like, "Do you guys have fire logs?" What? Do you have fire logs? As a KFC employee, I bet they'd be incredibly frustrated by that, but I dig it. Okay, so KFC fire logs. Let's see. And then I think that's it. Oh, this was the weird news that I got to share like right after the podcast, but Benicio del Toro. Nope. Yep. He has been cast as Swiper in the Dora the Explorer movie.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
That is coming out. He will not be doing any swiping today.
Is that going to be live action too?
Well, yeah, I think so.
The character, I'm pretty sure, is going to be animated. He's just voicing it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a cool voice.
Yeah.
And he does do some interesting voice work, like when he did the most recent Star Wars movie. He did the stutter and stuff like that. So he could do something interesting, but no, I was expecting him to actually like show up like makeup, like Jim Carrey Grinch.
Has there been anything on the continuation of the Star Wars movies? I haven't heard anything since the last one.
I mean, the next one's coming out. Like, it'll come out about a year, I think, from today. Next Christmas time, they'll come out with the last one. Carrie Fisher's still in it.
Yeah.
I think Luke Skywalker's still supposed to make appearances. He'll probably show up as like a Star Wars ghost or something like that.
Who knows?
But like there's actually, we were talking about an article the other day, and I think that was prompted because of Carrie Fisher's death. But now every single actor that they have, they actually do a full body digital scan of them.
Yes.
So then they can put them in future movies whether or not they've died. And this is a habit, like everyone in Star Wars, all the leads have been scanned head to toe. On top of that, like I'm thinking like Tom Hanks has probably been preserved. Like any Disney movie character, they're probably preserving them head to toe just in case. Doing like full samples of their voice and stuff. So they're like making it to where they can digitally reconstruct them. Marvel has done an amazing job de-aging people for the most part. But like Star Wars, like the young Carrie Fisher looked terrible. And then they did what was it? They also did a Tarkin. Was it Tarkin?
Yeah, it was Tarkin.
Those were god awful. So whoever's running those departments, they need to like fire the Star Wars guy and hire the Marvel guy to like lead an entire.
Well, they own them all now at this time.
Yeah.
Well, they own them all, but they clearly have different people doing each thing, and it's just there's a clear difference, Like a young, what was it? We've got a young, like when they de-aged Samuel L. Jackson in the new movie coming up, and he looks pretty good. De-aging Lawrence Fishburne doesn't work as well because Lawrence Fishburne's gained a lot of weight. Like he used to be like really tiny and young.
Not only is this technology expensive and kind of unwieldy, at least in my opinion, but I really think that they need to, in both Marvel and the Star Wars universe. I mean, the whole storyline of this next Star Wars is kind of passing the torch along in a way. I'm not going to count the second movie because, but
I've kind of gotten, I don't know, the whole way they weaponized the warp drives in the last movie. Like, what's the point of a Death Star at this point? We can just launch ships at planets.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We could spend the whole day on the second movie. I could spend the whole day on the second movie. But...
Well, so my review of the second movie, and I actually did this on my other podcast like a year ago. The best way to say it is, I think it's a great movie on its own. Like on its own as a movie, I think it's awesome.
I enjoyed the movie, but there's still like parts we can just pick out.
As a Star Wars sequel, it's shit. It is a terrible sequel. The director had no respect for the director before him, because he like everything that was, because it wasn't even like, hey, we kind of did a movie here that like they did a. It wasn't even like he accidentally trampled on some of the things that were set up in the movie before. It was they belligerently went after all of the setups from the movie before and was like a big fuck you to all of it. Yeah. Like when he did like who's Snark? No. What is it?
Snoke.
Snoke.
Yeah.
Who is Snoke? And then he just fucking murdered him. And there's a point where a character even said, like, it doesn't matter. and then like, who's Ray's parents? And he's like, I'll tell you who Ray's parents are. They're nobody.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They don't matter. And it was he actively went out to just say, hey, all this setup work that the last guy did, fuck all of it. Like, yeah. That's what was so upsetting as a sequel. And then, of course, there's the whole, like, the warp drive debate. Like, you know, we can just apparently launch small ships at bigger ships.
That wasn't even really the most egregious. The one that I started laughing out loud in the theater was the Leia Superman across space. It's the dumbest thing I watched the Clone Wars, and that was still the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie.
She Mary Poppins'd her way out of that. Yeah. Like, that was
it was ridiculous. It was the silliest thing I've ever seen. So I don't know. I really think that the direction originally was right, in that they should be kind of passing the buck, and they should be creating more new stories, and particularly with the Marvel stuff. I mean, Marvel superheroes in general, they die all the time in the comics, you know. And there's all sorts of spin-offs and related. You know, you can always have your Tony Stark being what is his name?
Robert Downey.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But you can have all sorts of other people be Iron Man as well. You know, there's lots of different comics and adaptations that you can go into. So I really think that instead of just trying to preserve, you know, the actors for as long as possible, why not diversify, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where if you hang on, JANP should be in charge of making Star Wars movies. No. I don't want that suicidal attempt where people go after you for getting one little thing wrong. But I mean, there are lots of... Yeah, I think there's 100 ways. Like, we're looking at a huge shift for the MCU here soon, depending on how Avengers 4 actually ends. And how things go, because there's rumors on whether or not Chris Evans is actually done with Captain America. They're 98% sure Robert Downey Jr. is going to be done being Iron Man. And there were like other things too. I think I was watching on like the Joe Rogan show. He was talking about like the main reason why these people want to would want to end the career. Like, Chris Hemsworth has to stay ripped as shit to play Thor, and Robert Downey Jr. has to stay fairly fit. And
good chunk of your day right there.
Yeah, exercising constantly. You have to eat very specific, and there's no going off of that. It's just kind of a nightmare almost to think about. Like, what life you have to live to be this character for so long. And then they have to do it for... I mean, the MCU's been around for 10 years now. That means Robert Downey Jr. has been trying to stay fit and in shape for 10 years. And I think he's in his 50s, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah, it's insane. For Chris Hemsworth to stay as jacked as he is for as long as he has been, it's incredible. And they have kids.
Yeah.
They all have kids. You know, so for them to change, but this could actually bring us into the next topic, a little bit. This thing we're talking about. So I went and saw Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse,
and neither of us did.
Yeah, no one was able to. Which I will say I completely understand, because for me to be able to see a movie right now is I have to leave after work. So I get off work around like 8, and then I have like maybe 30 minutes to see my wife for the first time all day, and then I go to the movie. So Spider-Verse, I was like, I really want to see this, because the two creators of Spider-Verse, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They did the Lego Movie. They also did 21 and 22 Jump Street. They're incredibly talented. I absolutely love these guys, and I'm a good Spider-Man fan. Like, I like Spider-Man. I grew up on the 90s animated Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited. The visuals in this movie did not disappoint. There are actually times that would kind of throw me a little bit, because there were you ever see a 3D movie with your glasses off? Mm-hmm. There are lines sometimes that was kind of going on from time to time. They did not. The theater, at least that I went to, did not have this in 3D. I think if it is in 3D, you should see it in 3D. But it was beautiful. Like, it was a beautiful movie. The story threw me off for a minute. So I actually know the lady who runs the movie theater there, and she came out because she saw that I looked incredibly confused when I was watching the opening of the movie. And she's like, is everything okay? Like, did it start too early? And I'm like, no. It's, so the movie opens. So Jake Johnson plays, Schlubby Spider-Man. Okay, for those of you who don't know, this movie is a Spider-Man movie based off of Miles Morales, Spider-Man Ultimate comic line. And, like the Kingpin opens up an interdimensional portal that makes a lot of Spider-Men all collide in one, and then it's going to tear apart the fabric of reality if they don't fix it. So you get, starting off, you have Miles Morales. Peter Parker just died. Schlubby Spider-Man from another universe shows up, played by Jake Johnson from New Girl. And then Spider-Gwen is there as well, and she's played by Haley Steinfeld, who's going to be in the Bumblebee movie here soon. And then at one point, Penny Parker, who's like an anime Spider-Man, she's like a robot, like a anime robot Spider-Man. Spider-Ham, who's played by John Mulaney, the comedian.
Spider-Pig.
And Spider-Man Noir, who's played by Nicolas Cage, show up as well. So you have 6 Spider-Men in this movie. So immediately it opens up, and instead of having Miles Morales being the main focus, it has Spider-Man from that universe being the main focus. However, it is not played by the same voice, Jake Johnson. He has a completely different voice. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, did they write Jake Johnson out of this movie last minute? Like, what did he do? Did he sexually assault someone? Did he, like, did he tweet something bad 8 years ago? Like, what happened? What happened? Turns out, like, they have a different... So this... Jake Johnson plays, like, a 38-year-old Spider-Man, and then this Spider-Man's, like, a 26-year-old Spider-Man who has all of his shit together. So this Spider-Man... So in the trailer, there's a point where Spider-Man's like, I saved the city, and they, like, reenact all of the Spider-Man scenes from, like, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. And there's, like, even a great part where it's like, and I also danced. We don't talk about that. And it shows him doing the exact same dance he did in Spider-Man 3, where he's like, and so for those of you who don't know, a little bit of a spoiler warning, but he's played by Chris Pine, which I didn't realize that Chris Pine would be such an amazing Spider-Man voice. But Chris Pine's like a dead-on, like, he's a perfect Spider-Man. Like, he would actually be a great person to voice Spider-Man in the future. Just like when NPH became Spider-Man for a while, people were like, no way! Chris Pine was great. Spider-Man dies, Miles Morales takes over, and then Schlubby Spider-Man shows up as Jake Johnson, and it's fan, like, he's wearing a pair of sweatpants over his costume. He's like a little fat. Like, it shows when he's about to be, like, sucked into the portal, he's eating pizza and shit, and he's broken up with Mary Jane because he doesn't want kids, and she does. So he's got, like, nothing together. He's got nothing, and Jake Johnson voices that perfectly. Like, he does not have a good Spider-Man voice. He has a fantastic Schlubby Spider-Man voice. So absolutely nailed it in that movie. And then all the other characters nailed it as well. Haley Steinfeld, I would say though that she has an incredibly boring voice. She doesn't stand out. Like, when you hear Anna Kendrick, you're like, that's Anna Kendrick. You 100% know. You could go way through that movie without knowing it was her. Like, I wouldn't have known unless I'd, like, they were like, hey, Haley Steinfeld's gonna be in. I was like, okay, cool. So she's good. John Mulaney's perfect as Spider-Pig, Spider-Ham. I think is this Spider-Ham?
I don't know. I was just saying Spider-Pig.
Yeah, I think it's probably Spider-Man.
John Mulaney's perfect. He's very much like a cartoon. Nicolas Cage is fantastic. In fact, my favorite part, again, we're talking spoilers here. Favorite part, Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man Noir, because he's completely in black and white, finds a Rubik's Cube and it loses his goddamn mind. Like he's like, and he's sitting there with Spider-Pig. He's like, "Is this green?" And he's like, "No, that's not what green looks like." And he's like, "Is this red?" He's like, "No, this is not red." So it's like watching a child try and figure out colors for the first time.
Whole life has just been colorblind.
Yeah, that's his whole life, and he gets his Rubik's Cube. At the end, he's like, "I'm taking this with me." Like, so. It's good shit. The whole movie has a lot of heart. The Stan Lee cameo broke me. It broke me. And to know that they did this without knowing, like they had to have animated this way before Stan Lee passed away. But there's a part, like, so Peter Parker just died, and Stan Lee's running a shop where he's selling, like, all these, like, Spider-Man merch and shit. And he pulls the costume out and he's selling it to Miles Morales, and he looks at Miles and he's like, "Yeah, I really miss him." And it was just a sweet moment, and you're like, "But we miss you." And he looks at Miles and he goes, "We were really good friends once." And I'm like, "Oh." Like, it's just a heartwarming.
Yeah.
It broke me. It broke me. I was tearing up in the theater. So great, like, the whole movie was perfect. I would say the only, if I were to nitpick something, there's a scene where they want you to care about Penny Parker, and they haven't built Penny Parker up as a character enough for you to give a shit. They have a specific big moment where, like, and Penny's like crying and tearing up, and you're like we haven't spent enough time with Penny Parker to care. Like, Penny is categorized in, like, you have the three characters that you build up. You build up Schlubby Spider-Man, you build up Miles, and you build up Gwen Stacy. Gwen probably didn't have enough time either. She was just built up a little bit more, like, she was on screen enough. And then the other three are kind of shoved off into the corner, and you can tell it's like these guys aren't that important. They're just here for comic relief or more spectacular, like, scene building.
Yeah.
So to give one of those characters a moment that you're supposed to care about them for a second, it didn't really work that well for me. But it was a great movie. Even the because Kingpin's the main villain, they, in the shortest amount of time possible, because you have no time in this movie to do anything, they give Kingpin, like, the best motivation, and you understand why he's doing what he is, why he's such an asshole. And he's great. Like, he's fantastic. It just takes, like, 2 seconds, and they did it. They nailed it. So even the villain in this completely compact movie, there's so much going on. And you have his uncle in there, too, who's also a villain. So much going on in this movie, and they balance everything almost perfectly. Nothing's perfect, but it was almost perfect. It's a movie, if you haven't, so guys, if you haven't seen it, no matter how much I spoiled for you guys, go and watch this movie. It's worth a 3D ticket price. Like, it is worth going and watching in 3D on the big screen. It is also worth every other way that you want to watch it, but I highly recommend going and watching it. Next week, so we won't be doing the podcast next week, but we will hopefully 2 weeks later. But I'm hoping to see Aquaman, and I'm hoping to see Bumblebee, so I can give kind of an idea as to what those are like. Pretty pumped, actually. Like, this is my movie season. This is where I get out and I watch movies. Because until then, I think we're dry until Captain Marvel.
Don't forget about the new Dragon Ball movie.
Brawly?
Yeah.
Is it Broly or Brawly?
Brawly.
Did you watch it?
It's not out until the 16th.
Oh, I read, like, a review or something about it, and they said it was
It
amazing.
just came out in Japan.
Oh, okay.
English releases until the 16th.
They said it was the best they've done, like, so far. So, I'll be crying next week because you broke my heart for skipping a week. Yeah. Well, it's Christmas. You've been doing a lot of driving. It's crazy. It's a lot going on next week for me. So, and this is kind of one of those things, like, I can't take the podcast on the road with me. Like, it has to be, you guys can tell, like,
stream it from your phone.
Yeah, just my wife and I just talking about Bumblebee the entire way back. If we even get to go see it at that point, I don't think we will. No, she'd kill me. The date. I don't think I even have the data for that, like, on my phone. It's too bad.
I know I didn't really have much to say with the whole Spider-Man review, seeing as I didn't see it. What I have seen though, I have a animated movie that I would not recommend. Do you know about Neo Yokio on Netflix?
I don't.
Okay, so do you know who Jaden Smith is, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, it is Jaden Smith. Somebody went up to him and was like, "Hey, we're going to fund you to make an anime," and he's like, "Cool, all right." And so it's Jaden Smith voicing the main character, and then a bunch of random people from Hollywood that are apparently Jaden Smith's friends that are other characters, and it is just awful. It is just like the worst thing.
He had a music video that came out like a week or so ago called Goku, and it's just like him saying like the same line repeatedly.
Yeah.
Is it Goku?
It's like something about Goku. I can't remember exactly.
Well, they did a full 12 seasons of it about, I think it was like a year and a half back. Or not 12 seasons, 12 episodes.
Oh my god, I was like, how?
Well, I figured after the 12 episodes that it'd be done, but just recently they have an hour and a half Christmas special of it. And it is horrible. It is just like cringeworthy awful.
Is it Kurt Russell Cool Santa bad?
Maybe.
I wanted to see that Kurt Russell Santa movie.
I got to see about 5 seconds where the elves popped out, and they are animated like Smurfs.
Yeah.
I gave up. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Everyone keeps telling me, like my parents.
I wanted to see him do Fast and the Furious down the road in Santa costume.
That would be great if like the next Fast and the Furious is released over Christmas and it's a holiday movie. like
New Sonic the Hedgehog.
did you?
Oh yes, that's the whole Uncanny Valley thing. We're right back to it.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie from the producers of Fast and Furious.
Is that really from them?
Yeah.
It looks horrible. Like they released a picture of Sonic and he looks gross.
Yeah.
There's even one point where they did a weird photo, and I don't think they realized how inappropriate it was. Like Sonic's legs are like wide open, and he's taking I think he's like taking a photo. So all you see is from the perspective of his two legs hanging, and then it just off into some background that isn't interesting enough for me to remember. But he looks nasty. Like he looks nasty.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like they can make Pikachu look awesome. Like I still think Pikachu looks great in that trailer.
Yeah.
But Sonic looks disgusting.
I mean, even all the games, like Sonic's always kind of looked weird, like big ass like one unit eye thing.
Yeah. and the spiked hair. I don't know. I was able to follow along for like the longest time, but I can't now. I'm not into it. Like I'm hardcore not into it. I was actually incredibly frustrated when I saw. When I saw the poster, because I'm a big Sonic fan. Like I like Sonic, and I thought the guy they cast to play Sonic has actually got a really good voice for it. However, he's also playing is he Leonardo? I think in the New Ninja Turtles.
Done something more like the last animated show they had for Sonic, like the 3D one. Like that was pretty good. You ever watched it?
Yeah, it's a clear cash grab. This one.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched the new Sonic or the 3D one. No.
They're kind of like self-aware. They like make a lot of jokes sometimes about who they are.
Those are the best. Interestingly enough, so I was in Hawaii with my sister like a while back. I think I was actually 26 at the time, and they had like Barbie up on Netflix, and because my niece was watching it, so I sat down and I was watching Barbie with her, and I'm like, this is actually really funny, because they were self-aware and like they made Ken like a sociopath.
So like the ones from the Toy Story.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like it was actually really funny. There was a lot of humor put into it, and I dug that. I don't think this movie is gonna be, and it's a shame because like this is kind of Jim Carrey's return to family stuff because he's going to play Dr. Robotnik.
Who knows? He could kill as Dr. Robotnik in the rest
I
of
think
the
he'll.
crap.
Well, I think he'll kill as it, but I think the rest of the movie is going to be garbage. Sonic is already like the main draw to the movie. Already looks shitty. Like, I don't know.
Knuckles is probably going to look like Uganda Knuckles.
I hope so. If it works, I'm in 100%. But yeah, no, I haven't even taken any time. Is it one of those movies or is it one of those animes though that like it's a fun garbage fire to watch, or is it just
at least the giving the initial first season a watch is just kind of a must in like literally why did anybody fund this? That's it's kind of the novelty factor of it.
Probably fun of him.
Yeah. So that would be one, or I would recommend that. And then if you're really a glutton for punishment, then go on and do the Christmas special.
I almost just want to watch the Christmas special for fun. Hey, Lake DK, thank you so much for dropping in a comment. I don't know if I would say RDR2 is the best game in the world, but I would say it's a lot of fun.
It's pretty fun. Online's a little disappointing, but
I didn't go online.
There's just not much to do. Like I did all the story missions, and I just don't feel like grinding to get all the guns and stuff I want. So it's just like,
yeah.
Still waiting for it on PC.
Yeah, you're gonna be waiting a while. I think.
One of the reasons why I got a PS2 or PS4.
Yeah.
I want a PS4 just because of Spider-Man and.
Like I got the PS4 like when I moved in my new place back in June or whatnot, and because I just knew that Spider-Man game was coming out, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Red Dead. I was like, might as well.
Yeah. Well, and then what was it? Last of Us 2 at some point's coming out. Have you played Last of Us?
Yeah, I got the remastered version.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaking game. Like
even the multiplayer on that was pretty fun too.
Oh yeah, I heard actually the multiplayer on Last of Us was
still occasionally go
incredible.
Back and play the multiplayer.
Yeah, they say it's incredible. My buddy Robert, who's a big into online play, was a huge fan of that one. He actually said BioShock 2, I think. That one was also amazing. He's like of surprising ones.
Yeah, that was the one that I skipped because I remember when it came out, everybody was saying that it was just not. And of course, it was following BioShock 1, and that's.
Well, and yeah, whenever I asked anybody how was it, they would say, "Eh." Yeah. And I'm like, it's not enough for me to want to play a game.
I heard the story was pretty bad.
I own it. I just haven't touched it. Like I think I started, and I got really frustrated because the opening of the game, like I think you're shot in the head. Like immediately, and then
Fallout New Vegas. Huh?
Yeah.
The game was rigged from the start.
So, and I haven't even played Fallout New. Like I played the first part of Fallout New Vegas. I don't think that stream exists anymore, which is really upsetting because it was really funny. Because what I did was, so you get shot in the head and you wake up at Doc's house or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm stealing all of Doc's shit.
Yeah.
And so I went, I stole everything, and then I slow walked to the general store. I just slow walked all the way.
He doesn't stop you from taking his stuff, so you just.
Yeah, he doesn't even mind. Actually, there's no like moral issue there.
Something kind of exciting along the lines of New Vegas is: have you seen the trailer for Outer Rim yet?
Oh yeah, the new Obsidian game.
Oh yeah.
Space Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
They
were taking shots at Bethesda even in the trailer because they had right in the trailer they said from the original creators of Fallout.
And Fallout. Because this is right after 76 came out.
Yep.
Good on them. Well, so one of the podcast titles a couple weeks back was how I even said like Red Dead 2 is actually the best Fallout game to come out this year, because like someone was like, a friend of mine was like, hey, yeah, I kind of stopped playing, and I was like, why? And he's like, it just reminded me too much of Fallout, and I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, and so we started breaking it down, like the VAT system is basically Deadeye. I mean, it's not 100%, like it doesn't give you percentages, but you can like target different parts of people's bodies and you slow down time. There's the fact that you're just constantly looting everything you find. There's a moral system, which in Fallout 3 was a big thing.
When did the original Red Dead come out?
it's been a long time.
I think they said it's been 10 years.
I was gonna say, but when did the Fallout 3 come out? It's like, I don't know. Who did slow down first?
That's a good question. I think Fallout 3 came out first.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You really want to get into the slowdown. It's like Max Payne was probably one of the earlier ones.
It's like it's a different kind of mechanic, and like Deadeye's not specifically, but I mean, there's enough similarities to say that it's a better Fallout than Fallout 76.
I was playing. I only really used Deadeye when I was hunting.
Yeah, that's super. Actually, really, really handy. Is to shoot something like because it helps you shoot things in the head. I use Deadeye all the time. Like one of my favorite things is to roll up on. You'll find a camp of Driscolls or Lemoyne Raiders now. Like that's where I'm at the story. You find like a big camp full of bad guys, and when they see you, they're like, "You get!" And they get up with their guns. And when they get up, I do Deadeye, and then I just like do a line across all their heads and just mark all their heads, and they're pop, 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 and they're all down. And then he just gets off his horse like, "Yo, damn!"
Enough in the game and kill stuff fast enough. I usually just run and gun most of the time.
Yeah. I just like, I don't know. I have a good time just Deadeyeing things. But I'm not good at aiming. So which is why I don't play online very much. I went on to Grand Theft Auto.
You can use Deadeye a little bit in online. It just doesn't slow it down. You can still like do the targeted aim.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's just like a little bit of an assist is what it is, basically. Which, I mean, how would you even do that? And that's why Fallout 76 people are frustrated with that too, because the whole VAT system... It's kind of shot. There's no point. I played 76
for a bit, and I'd actually maxed out my perception to use my VATs a lot, which is very nice, because, like, you still get, like, the auto crits after a certain time.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a couple times people would, like, come up to me and start trying to shoot me and whatnot, and I have my, like, auto crit up, so I just turn on VATs, one shot him in the head, and just
aim bottom.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I haven't played 76, but...
I played it for a little bit, got frustrated, and quit.
It's the only game I've ever seen like come out and then like the next week it was on sale for Black Friday. I think it was like $30.
It's still
like,
on sale.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's been on sale for a while. One of the stores I saw was actually pretty funny because it was like 76% off or something like that.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
Battlefield 5, same thing. They had that as half off about a week after the launch date.
On the other side, hilariously,
one's still better.
Hilariously, Red Dead 2 was out. Like they set it out with the Black Friday deals, and I think they gave it like 11 cents off.
It's like, I mean, it still probably sold more than a lot of other ones.
Oh yeah,
it did. Yeah, my buddy just grabbed it because he was like, "Well, this is what I want for Christmas," and so he took it, and he absolutely, he's the one who said he stopped playing for a while. So, but he picked it up. I bought it with my birthday money, I think, like a couple of weeks after, because my parents gave me like $50. And I was like, well, $10 for Red Dead. That's not bad. So
I just pre-ordered it like a month beforehand.
I wanted to. One guy asked me over summer, like, do you want to pre-order Red Dead 2? And I was like, I don't know yet. And then I think it was like right before it came out, like the reviews were coming out. I'm like, okay, I need to try. And we had a conversation topic for a really long time about like horseball physics and stuff on the podcast. That was a big thing, but I was like, we'll see. And then they were saying like story mode, it was awesome. Like gameplay was awesome.
For a little, like sometimes the running on the horse is a little weird.
Oh
like
yeah.
The auto like assist when it's trying to make you run, because I'm like run through a forest and like trying to like run between like two little trees, and then it's like we're gonna make you swerve to make you miss this one tree, but then just runs you into another tree.
Yeah. My biggest so what was it? This is still something that pisses me off from the last time I played. I just murdered the legendary. Wasn't the legendary buck? I think it was the legendary elk, because I was looking for the legendary buck, and I kept finding things that weren't a buck. It was just the elk. It's the same fucking picture of an animal.
Yeah.
So I finally killed the legendary elk, and so I wrap the skin up and you throw it on the back of your horse, and it's that big skin that you can't just like stuff under the other stuff. So I'm riding to go to the trapper to sell the skin off, and I run into a pack of wolves. They start chasing me down, so I'm like going 100 miles an hour trying to get away from them.
Chase you more when you have like bloody animals and stuff on you.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
I never even noticed. So I'm like running, and there's two guys on top of a hill, and I just boom, like run right to the back of one guy, and go flipping over. And then the other guy, because apparently when I hit that guy on the horse, it killed him. So the other guy went to go report me for murder. And I'm like, fuck. And so I get on my horse and I ride off, and I forget that the skin has completely fallen off. And I'm running away. And so he reports me for murder, and then I get busted by the actual people, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna reload the game. So I reload the game, and it reloads after all of that. So I still have a bounty. The skin is completely lost, like it's gone. I was hoping I was gonna reload before I killed that animal, or like right when I killed that animal. No, it saved. It auto saved, and I lost the skin. I have a bounty, and I got in all of this trouble, and I still murdered that guy. And I was so pissed off. I was like, really? All because the physics, like, you run into the back of someone and everyone's dead? What? Like, it just didn't make any sense. I don't know. And then immediately after, another thing that happens to me a lot is I accidentally murder people all the time in the game. So, like...
It just keeps happening.
Well, if you get into, like, a fist fight with someone, at one point, Arthur just kind of gets... Like, Arthur in the game gets tired of getting punched, and he whips out a knife. And I accidentally, like, face stabbed a guy. Like, I was like, no! This guy, I gave him $100 to fix up his house. Because him and his kids were trying to build the house. I gave him $100. He gave me $150 back. And then for no reason at all, like, I don't know what happened. I accidentally pointed my gun at him, and he was like, what the hell are you doing? And he comes at me. He just starts punching me. Well, he knocked my weapons out, which I just spent all his money customizing. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get these back. I have to try and pick them up. And he's punched me in the face. And then...
They know you could drop your weapons.
What?
They know you could drop your weapons in the game.
Yeah.
I've never lost my weapons. It's weird.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. You can get your weapons completely knocked out of your hands, too.
Oh.
Especially if you're fist fighting
someone.
someone.
Your horse, too, so you can just go back to your horse.
Well, so then I accidentally stabbed the guy, so I tried to reload the game. Where I didn't murder the man, but there was his body still next to me. When I reloaded, I was like...
Accidentally in the throat. Just...
Yeah. It's happened to me 3 times, I think. Like, so the first time was the same thing. This guy, you find...
Should have just lassoed him and tied him up.
Yep. I'm just now realizing that would have been a good idea. I was a little freaked out because he just started punching me, and I'm like, I want my weapons. And then I just, out of nowhere, he just pulls out a knife and stabs the guy in the face. And I'm like, no! Like, I wanted to see, like, how things turned out in the game with that guy. Because, you know, I helped him build his house. And now I know his sons have resentment towards me. And... Because that game will remember shit. It will remember things.
It was like, if you actually shoot, like, any vendor in the game or whatnot, you come back the next day, they'll like have bullet holes like right where you shot them, or like bandages on.
Yeah, they'll have their bandages and stuff, and then they'll look at you and be like, you know, one guy looked at me and goes, my wife would kill you if she saw you in here. It's like, okay. You're not supposed to remember me, vendor man.
The one guy that had like the kid like locked in his basement or whatever. No.
Oh, I haven't found that guy yet.
Never mind.
No, you can spoil it. I'm far enough in.
It was in one of the earlier cities. Like it was the gun store vendor. Like you're just like walking around the outside of his place, and there's like some guy like in his basement like yelling for help. So like you go down there, and he's like some guy like in a sailor's outfit. And he's like chained to a bed. And he's like, this guy keeps saying I'm his son or something like that. I don't know him at all.
I found. You find random shit in that game. Like, I mean, I found like a couple of backstore robberies and stuff, but like there's one guy like
KKK yet?
I've run into them a couple of times. The first time I ran into them, I ended up just killing like half of them for fun. No moral, like it does not affect you bad or good.
I just got in a fist fight with the leader and then killed him.
Yeah, I murdered the leader.
Next time I found him, I just started throwing like predator bait down. Wild animals come running up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. There's one guy that I found, or like one that I found with like the two. So there's 3 of them, and they're like one guy's directing the other 2, and the other 2 guys are trying to push up like a cross to burn, and it like falls back down and murders the 2 guys, and then the 3rd guy's just standing there, and he just goes, "Welp," and I just look at him, I'm like, "Pew!" Just shoot him right in the head and knock him down. And he's like, and then I looted his body. I think I got in trouble for looting his body, but I didn't get in trouble for shooting him in the head. The game, what frustrates me the most is you get like another moral point against you for every time you go through a dead body, as long as the person's innocent. Like if they're a bad guy that tried to murder you first, you don't get in trouble.
See, I just started off being, I'm not going to play next, so I just got like almost like maxed out bad guy points.
Well, and see, that's, I think, like I was talking to someone, I'm like, if you want to play the game, like, it's best played evil. And being nice very rarely, but...
Yeah, I feel like being nice kind of limits what you do a lot in the game.
It is really hard. It's hard to be nice in the game. There's even, like, one point where I think I murdered, like, 3 people in a row and then finally hogtied the last guy because people kept witnessing me murder someone. Because the first guy, like, I was sitting in with him at a campfire and he goes, I recognize you. And I was like, no, you don't. You don't know shit.
I remember one guy ran from me and I chased him down and tackled him. He was trying to report my murder. And literally you can just, like, intimidate him. And just like, you did not see anything. Like, I did not see anything.
I usually just hog tie him and leave him. That's what I do, and I don't get in trouble for that. You don't get in trouble for hog tying people at all, which is great, because you can hog tie like anyone.
One of my favorite things online, once I got done with the story on there, I just run around and lasso people and just drag them behind my horse.
Yeah, so I guess there was a lot of controversy over there's a guy who just walked up and punched a woman's suffrage lady in the face, and then what he ended up doing was he hogtied her and just drug her behind his horse and like just basically murdered her. Like it was
gotta get cut on all that edge.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you could do that a lot in the game where you could just hogtie people and just drag them around.
I was just doing that to random players online. At one point I was like on a bridge and people were just like riding their horses underneath me and I literally like lassoed a guy and actually like hung him from the bridge.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I watched I think this was online. I saw like some video where the guy went to like, he was falling off a bridge and he went to lasso someone and he ended up lassoing himself and he was hanging from the bridge by his feet.
I didn't know you could lasso yourself.
I know. I was like, what the hell? Like, that was awesome.
There's one video I saw a guy like saved a guy going off a waterfall by lassoing him and just like pulling him back up.
That's awesome. I didn't even know you could do that. That's just, the game is so big and it's so random. Like, I got in trouble at one point because like I found a guy who was like fixing his horse's shoe, and I walk up, to see if I can help. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And the guy goes, what? And the horse kicks him in the head and murders him.
I've run into that.
Yeah, and so what did I get in trouble for? Going through his pockets. So then there's actually a video I have out where it's like, I go, I found out like you can just get good karma for saying hi to people. Yeah. So I'm just walking around saying hi to people. I'm like, I'm getting all this karma for saying hi to people. This is awesome. And then the video clips to like, this was like an hour later in the game. I walked into this town. I found this group of bad guys. I murdered all the bad guys. I accidentally shot a good guy in the town next door. So the entire town was coming at me and I thought they were bad guys too. So I was shooting back at them and my karma's going ding, ding, ding. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, because they're shooting at me and I'm like, I'm losing all this karma for being nice. I was like, I lost all my good nice saying hi karma and shit. It was so frustrating. It's still, I mean, I agree. I don't think Lake DK is still around, but I agree. Like, it's a great game. I don't know if I would say it's the best one of all time. I don't know. What's that one? It's like, isn't there like a PS4 game where you can run around as a tiger or something that's like really, really terrible? That one. That's the perfect game. Or Goat Simulator. How long has it been since you guys have played Goat Simulator?
Never.
I was playing, not Goat Simulator, but I was playing this other game, Tokyo Jungle. It was a PS3 game, but I got PS Now, so you can stream like all these games to your PS4 or whatnot. And I was playing that, and it's like a survival-based game. You're like, Tokyo's like clear of all humans, so you can play as like different animals. Start off at like a little like poodle thing, just like running around like fighting like bigger dogs or like whatnot. It's pretty fun. I don't know.
Kind of reminds me of Spore. Like, Spore is basically a battle emulator.
I was just playing Spore like the other day.
Oh, were you?
I watched some random YouTube video and I'm like, man, I really missed this game, so I just went and bought it.
That was one of the first things I streamed, and I actually had a lot of people pop in. Like, even you and Ron were popping in watching me play Spore.
Spore? I don't know. It's a good game. There's not many things like it.
No, there's not. And I mean, what kind of PC do you have? Do you have a Windows 10 or?
Yeah.
So, and you can play Spore on it?
Yeah.
Someone was telling me you couldn't play it on there, and I was like, no.
I can. I couldn't connect to their servers. I don't know actually they keep their servers up anymore.
They probably don't.
Yeah.
The game's so old, but...
Unlikely.
I don't even know what you said there, Chris. Goat Simulator, I can go out back and do that. Come here, Big Betty. Oh, dear. Oh, Chris.
He has his own goats.
He might.
That is a felony.
Oh. Do you get to play games, Will, or?
I've been doing ever since finals ended. I've been able to play games for the entire semester. Really, it's just been I've got my stupid little Dominions 5 game. That's the little
pick up Warframe again.
I picked up Warframe for a little while, and then I burned myself out on it after playing it for like 3 or 4 weeks.
They just had the open world update.
Yeah, I did try that for a little bit. It's pretty interesting.
Go fishing now.
Well, you can fish in the other open world as well.
Oh, you could?
Yeah. Because this is actually like the second open world portion that they've opened up.
I haven't played in like a year or more.
Yeah, the new big thing is that you've got like a snowboard now, and you can do like tricks, like Tony Hawk tricks on your snowboard.
That's tricky.
It's such a varied game. I did end up I enjoyed Warframe.
Isn't that game free? Too?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like on all the systems now too.
Yep, it's
coming out
everywhere.
for the Switch in like a month or so.
Oh, it's not out on the Switch yet?
I'm not sure.
I've heard early reviews, and they said it just runs phenomenally on the Switch.
Okay, maybe it is out.
It was done by Panic Button, though, who they did. Will and I were just talking about this earlier, actually, pre-podcast. We were talking about the same people who did Wolfenstein and Doom on the Switch ported Warframe over.
I got both those on the Switch.
Yeah,
I had them on the computer, but just like when I was living in Des Moines, like I was going to the laundromat a lot. It's just so nice to be able to play them at the laundromat.
I know you almost sold me on a copy of Doom. I didn't buy it, but you were very close to selling me on it because you're like, there's just nothing like playing Doom at the laundromat right now, and I was like, I want that.
The latest Doom game, like the multiplayer on that, is really good too.
Yeah, I'm excited. Have you seen anything on Doom 2? Or Doom Eternal?
I saw like the first like teaser trailer thing.
Looks awesome. I was watching a gameplay video. There's a grappling hook shotgun.
Oh man.
So there was like all the flying like demons and stuff. It changed changed how the flow of the combat goes, in the sense that he could like grapple hook up, shoot the thing, and then come down and shoot things as he's falling from the sky. And it's just incredible. Like, it looks cool.
I did pick up one thing for my because end of the semester you have to reward yourself, even if you're like super dirt poor like I am right now. So
I get you.
I picked up on sale do you remember Prey from 2017?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I heard that game was really good.
It's excellent.
I love Prey.
Yeah.
They had the VR one just come out.
Yes, that might not be so excellent, but at least it's free. So,
so
is it just free if you own the old one?
I think so. Or I think you have to own the DLC. But
DLC.
Yeah.
When I had Prey on, or when I had the TV show in Des Moines that I did for a little while, one of the things I reviewed was Prey. It's really funny too, because the same friend who gave up on Red Dead Redemption, he was playing Prey, and he's like, I think you might be better at video games than me. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm terrible at video games. And he's like, yeah. He's like, because I can't, like, I keep getting killed. And I'm like, it's all about strategy. Because, like, all I did in that game was I upped my, my turret ability, like my ability to upgrade turrets. I maxed that out. and then I would just carry turrets around with me. And
Oh, you did that kind of game.
And anytime I ran into something I couldn't kill, I would just remember where I left all the turrets, and I would go and I'd set them all up.
Set them as
I
a
would
trap.
shoot them, run behind the turret, and stand there. And then as it would come up, I would just, with the turrets, just light that fucking thing up.
Yeah, I'm going through my first playthrough. I'm doing the full humanist playthrough, so ignoring all of the alien.
Yeah,
tech.
I didn't do any alien stuff. Have you beat it?
I haven't yet. I'm still exploring all the different random places, but I'm getting close. I found like the escape pods, and I found like all that sort of stuff.
The ending is so good.
Yeah,
I can't tell you.
there are multiple endings, aren't there?
Yes, but the way that they end it is great. I Kiki. Someone's following me. Oh, I think he's following my at JD. He's following the wrong one. You're following the wrong one, guy. That's okay. No, the ending is awesome. It's very how do I not spoil it? It's just deep as shit. Like, and it addresses every choice you've ever made in the game.
Cool.
So it's really cool because I ran no alien powers, and then I tried to do the best decisions possible. It's my personal opinion is the way that the ending works addresses the morality system that because it's Arcane Studios.
Yeah.
They did Dishonored. It addresses it better than Dishonored did.
Yeah.
Dishonored's one of those games where it is so hard. It's a lot like Red Dead 2. It's hard to be a good person in that game. Like Dishonored, you just immediately murder. And if you kill one person in Dishonored 1, if you kill one person...
Bad ending.
Bad ending. You're an asshole. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think this game, they do a better job kind of talking about the moral system. And you'll find out, but... The ending is part of why I love that game, but the gameplay I absolutely loved as well. Like it reminded me of like BioShock a bit.
BioShock, I'd say System Shock 2 as well.
Yeah.
Though BioShock pulled a lot of stuff from System Shock 2 as well. I mean that's kind of the granddaddy, but excellent game.
I think that's even on sale right now.
Yeah, that's why I picked it up.
Because I was thinking about buying Moon Crash, because Moon Crash is like $10, and that's the online.
And everybody says it's one of the best DLCs of like any DLC for any game, just because it changes up the gameplay so much.
Yeah. And more Prey is always good for me. Because I bought Prey and Wolfenstein, I think, for like $28, I think. Wolfenstein 2 and Prey over summer break?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Summer or fall.
I might have to pick it up.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I've been playing that. It's been kind of on the back burner for a while, but I picked up Monster Hunter World before this last semester.
Did you get it on the PC?
Yes. And
I mean, you don't have any consoles.
Yeah. You do it, or you make do with what you have.
I got it on the PS4. That was the first game I picked up when I got the PS4, and now I've kind of been debating about getting it again for the PC, just because I have friends that got it.
Well, they announced for next year, I think, next fall, they're adding
the Witcher.
Well, that's actually coming sooner. That's coming like this spring or something. They're doing
a trailer for that. It was so good.
They're doing a crossover with the Witcher 3. They're just like adding Geralt directly into the Monster Hunter universe.
Yeah, that is too.
yeah. So it's good. That's going to be pretty cool. But
I love the trailer. Like comes in through a random portal. Like, well, I'm pretty good at killing monsters.
Guess I'll do this. But they actually announced for next year they're adding their version of G rank, which is a big deal for Monster Hunter fans because G rank is like they have like the high level challenges, and then G rank is like the rank above that. So you're getting insta killed by like every single thing, and Monster Hunter fans love it.
Perfect with your dodges and whatnot.
Yes, you really have to know the fights. So that's coming out sometime next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still playing Red Dead 2.
I'd be playing Red Dead 2 if I could, but
if they come out more DLC for it, I'll probably play more Red Dead.
Yeah.
Did you guys play any Smash yet?
Yeah, I've played a lot of Smash.
No.
So I opened up with I got like I actually got a really good deal. So like the Facebook Marketplace over Black Friday was selling shit super cheap. One thing I will say is there's a definite prejudice against Xbox One because they had Hitman, the new Hitman 2 for
man, that looks really good.
It was on PS4 they were selling it for $30 for PS4 on the marketplace, but they weren't selling it for Xbox One on the marketplace. I'm like, you fuckers, because I wanted it, but I ended up getting Smash Brothers for $30. They were selling it for 40. And then I got like a $10 coupon, but I got it pre-ordered for $30. Downside is it showed up like a week late.
You pre-ordered it?
Yeah.
Man, my pre-order showed up like the day it came out.
I know. That's Facebook Marketplace. They're in no hurry. I also got
mine on Amazon for the Amazon Prime pre-order discount or whatever.
Ooh. I also got a Pro controller for $40. And then I got the SN30 Pro controller, which was nice for like $40. But so I played some Smash a week late. I played about a day because everyone's like, have you been playing Smash all weekend at work? And I'm like, no. I was like, I have things I got to do. But I'm going to be playing it on the entire trip up to Wisconsin, I'm pretty sure. But I was playing it about a week late. I love it.
I'm going to Florida this Friday.
Nice.
And I got like a car charger just for my Switch for this.
Yeah.
It's a long trip, especially in a car.
Yeah.
Oh, you're driving?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bringing the dog, so.
Oh, okay. Is it Umbach?
Yep.
You still have Umbach?
Yep.
How's Umbach doing?
He's pretty good.
Is he still massive?
Yeah. He's been on a diet for a while now, but like still about the same size looking.
He's a big friggin' dog.
I mean, his rib cage is bigger than mine. It's like.
Yeah. He's a huge dog. I absolutely loved. You know what we should do, guys? We should explain like how we know each other. Like I said, we met in high school, but we should explain how we met. Kind of.
Is it improv?
Well, so I met Will at improv.
Yeah.
I think you're originally friends with Dustin.
Yeah. Well, so when I first like 7th grade, I started hanging out with this guy Nathan Hall, and Nate and I were hanging out for a while. And then Dustin was always over at Nate's because he was, you guys were like basically your backyard was Nate's house or something like that. Or no, your backyard was the high school.
Yeah.
Nate's house was like just on the other street. And so Dustin was like terrorizing Nate, which was hysterical. Like Dustin, when he was in like middle school, used to do that thing where he would like run around me 10 times and poke me to piss me off. So I started hanging out with Dustin a little more like in high school, and then so Dustin is Ty's brother. Yours and Dustin's house had the coolest fucking layout. Like you guys had tiny bedrooms, but this huge community space.
I mean, the bedrooms themselves weren't really that tiny.
I mean, I would say, yeah, comparable to this room, probably pretty close. Like actually, but like, so they would be like, but you guys had a lot more, like you had the big community space up top.
Yeah, we had like 2 full-size living rooms in the house and whatnot.
Yeah, so we would all come over and hang out over there. Will, I met a little bit before because we watched, or we did improv and stuff together. Yeah. Probably my favorite, actually, I think the first time I ever met you, because maybe I was doing improv around Halloween the first time. So I'm pretty sure the first time I met you, you were dressed as Gandalf.
It wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
You did Gandalf like every year.
Yeah, I remember your Gandalf costume.
Yeah.
It was a good costume.
Is that still around? Does that still exist?
I don't think so. I think because it was out in a storage shed for a long time. I think mice ate through it.
Nature, yeah, I was gonna say nature got to it. I'm finding pieces of the Fat Batman costume that I had.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But no, and then like I think my favorite thing ever was like Will had a line in improv where he would, what did you say? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it to that. My aunt dies next Thursday. Yeah. So like we all did it, like, you know, like Will and I did improv together. I don't think we even did we get Dustin into improv?
We did.
Did we? Yeah. It was a little tough to get it, like, yeah.
I remember just going and hanging out and watching you guys do it.
Yeah, we always try to get Ty to do it, and he'd be like, "I'm not doing that." We're like,
not
okay.
for everybody, you know.
Yeah, it's not.
I was also a lot shyer back then.
Yeah.
Danish did improv too, but what drove me nuts is every time Danish did improv, he would show up and he would do like he would play Magic with everybody before. So like you want to play Magic with everybody for like an hour beforehand. It's like we want to do some improv. Is he really? So we did improv together, and then we would hang out over at your guys' place. And I think like at that point we'd all kind of like, and then through like high school and college and stuff, we would all kind of come back.
I just remember like for a long time, like every day after high school, there'd be like 10 plus people over just playing Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like you guys all played Smash. I would watch you play Smash because I was so bad at Smash. Like, here's what's so shitty too. So I played Smash at home on the GameCube when I had it when I was and I played through like the main single campaign. I don't play well with other people because I'm so shitty at things. So I come over to your guys' house and I would get killed instantly. And so I pick up the new Smash and I'm like playing the campaign mode. I'm like, I'm whooping ass. I'm like, I'm a badass. And then I looked and I forgot that there's like a level system. And I'm basically just kicking kindergartners' asses. Like it's like level 3.
I've been playing through Adventure Mode on easy because like some of the challenges in there are complete bullshit.
I just want to like unlock everything, and then I was gonna go into, because do you unlock everything if you just play through Adventure Mode? Or do you have to re-unlock everything?
Slowly through Adventure Mode. Like characters you unlock through Adventure Mode, you get in normal Smash. But you can still unlock them by playing Smash like the old way, and just like getting enough battles in or whatnot.
That's what I was doing, but I'm like, maybe it would just be better rather than just, because like going back to Adventure Mode, it would be like really, like if you're gonna play Adventure Mode anyways, you might as well just do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was playing and they were like all level 3, and I was like, oh. It's just like I still feel like a badass. And then you know what's real sad? As much as I've hung out with you guys, and as much as I've played Smash at home on the GameCube, I just found out that that second thumbstick. Yeah, I didn't know. I just learned about that.
Oh.
I was like,
yeah.
It would have improved your gameplay so much.
A little bit.
And I talked to a friend of mine, and he's like, yeah, that's been that way forever.
Well, since the GameCube one.
Yeah, he's like, that's never. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, that's for at least as long as you've been playing, it's been that way. And I'm like, God.
I think out of our whole group, I think probably the best couple of players would probably be either Ty or Ron. We're probably the best.
Who's your normal, Ty?
I play a handful. I'm gonna say Zero Suit Samus or Ganondorf is probably my better ones right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ganondorf when I just really want to knock people around.
Yeah.
I love that they increased his smash in the new one. Like before, he always had like Captain Falcon's moves, be like that elbow or whatnot, and now like he pulls out his sword and fucks shit up.
Okay.
So it increases his range a lot.
What about you, Will? Did you have a normal?
Back in the day with Melee, it was Yoshi, but after I think Smash 4, I turned into a Jigglypuff main. So, I mean, you laugh, but
I'm laughing because I'm like the new story mode starts with Jigglypuff. Like that's how you.
Well, it starts with Kirby. You can get Jigglypuff pretty early though.
Yeah.
Oh shit! No, yeah, I know you're right. My brain went stupid there for a second. Oh yeah, Jigglypuff? Is he in the new one?
Yeah. They got all the characters.
Yeah, Jigglypuff's been since
I couldn't tell if there was
one.
anyone they took out. They said they had them all, but I felt like they took someone.
They have 80 plus characters.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost got them all.
I would like to try the Belmonts,
God.
the Castlevania
They're
guys.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, they do
My
look
biggest
fun.
problem is when I fight against them is like I always underestimate how long the whip is. So I get like smashed from like 5 feet away.
Yeah. It seemed like good zoning characters, but.
It did feel like picking it up from years ago though when I started playing it.
It's like the same gameplay, just more refined now. It feels
beautiful too. Like it looks good. There's a lot of shit that I didn't expect though. Like, there's this like you can find ship pieces if you grab all these ship pieces. Eventually, you get the ship that like shows up and just. And I was like, holy shit. And I was playing on one level where like a foot came out of the sky and stepped on me. I was like, what the fuck is happening? It's insane, but it's from what I've played, it's a lot of fun.
I got surprised really early by the weird like assist trophy. Is like a duck or something. You just throw at somebody and it just like takes them up to the sky.
Oh yeah, there's like a Galaga ship or something like that. Yeah,
like the same thing.
Yeah, that was insane.
Duck one's kind of more sneaky though, because it just like attaches to their back and just flies away. You gotta throw it at them, and once it hits them, they just fly off.
Do you play online at all?
Played a bit.
Are you kicking ass there, or are you getting your ass kicked?
Like eventually, like you kind of get your rank up and fight people around your rank. So.
Oh, okay. They would be putting me out there with like children. That's what I'm terrified of.
I ended up getting the USB adapter so I can just plug my LAN port like right into the Wii.
Yeah, I was actually watching a whole video on the LAN adapter thing.
Yeah.
So Bob Wolf did a video. I don't know if you've ever seen. There's a YouTuber named Bob Wolf. He talks a lot of Switch talk, like a lot of really cool Switch talk. And he did a video the first time where the LAN adapter is absolutely garbage.
Is it?
And then he, like recently, for no reason at all, it's not even a firmware update. Like he found a Switch that hadn't even been updated since June. And like for no reason at all, it works great now. Like it worked, like he gave him the shittiest connection before, and now he has like an amazing connection off of it. And he's like, what the hell? But he's like, he highly recommends the LAN adapter now. But
I've noticed a difference when I play online, because like sometimes we'll play like in the handheld mode, and like some matches will just be super laggy. But then like once I plug it in, I actually have like never seen any lag really.
Yeah, well, it's like a peer-to-peer connection, so it depends on who you're playing. That may be like you were the problem the whole time and you never knew, you know, like that's why like my computer is now hardwired in. That is one of the things when I bought this house, like I wanted to be able to like
I still use
plug in. I didn't want Wi-Fi.
My home computer, but like I bought like $300 router and I got a big-ass Wi-Fi adapter on my PC, so
that would do it.
Yeah.
I got that thing.
Like 2 feet from my computer.
I just bought that thing, the little antenna there, just because apparently that's also my Bluetooth connection.
Huh.
So for like my wireless headphones, it just makes it a lot easier. They still get kind of interrupted. I think my headphones are kind of shitty. I don't know. Yeah. I got them like really cheap. They're like $60. I got them for like $30 on Amazon. I'm like, boom.
I got some wireless headphones. I still use like the USB connector for the wireless.
I don't have wireless headphones that do that, but I have wired ones that are actually a little bit better. They're styled around like military, but the wire kind of shakes up my head. It's like, ugh. But I'm a huge fan. Like, they're super comfortable on the ears. It's just having something on your head, I think, kind of throws me off a little bit. I'm a big fan, but yeah, the new Smash is pretty fun.
It's been a really good year for fighting game fans in general. I mean, you had Smash, you had Soul Calibur.
Oh, the new Soul Calibur is pretty good.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z, didn't that come out this year?
No, like the very start of the year.
Yeah.
Is it on the Switch yet? I heard it was coming, but okay. I don't play a lot of fighting games, so Smash is the one that I don't know. I think tolerate's a little harsh of a word, but
the trailer for the Mortal Kombat coming out.
Ooh.
Yeah, MK11. From what I've heard, the last Mortal Kombat, the only problem was there was like you could pay for fatalities, and that was kind of ridiculous. But outside of that, like they said, it was amazing.
The fatalities don't really do much in the game.
No, but that's kind of one of the things of the series, though.
Yeah,
it's not like Mortal Kombat without the fatalities.
Oh, who was that? I can't even read that. Shit. Thank you for the follow, person. Let's see. Let's bring it up. It'll pop up here in a second. It just has to load life and shit.
It's like MLGuard82.
Hey, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Nerdy Podcast. Just another Nerdy Podcast. I don't know why I named it that. I mean, well, so someone recommended, I was thinking of podcast names for a long time, and one of the ones that came up was Just Another Shitty Podcast. Huh. And at that time, I was more concerned about, like, cussing and stuff. I'm not now.
Can I ask you where your bathroom's at?
Oh, yeah, it's just right around the corner.
We're drinking all my coffee.
Yeah, Ty drank all his coffee. I'm staring at my water across the room, like, because I'm trapped in the corner, like an R. Kelly video. It's terrible.
I could give you your water if you want your water.
I don't want my water. I want to cry about my water.
It's drama. There we go.
Yeah, it's drama. It's
we do this for the viewers. We do this.
We go thirsty for you. I think there's 2 people there because I might be the other 2.
Oh.
Like I've got a thing on one side and then the other, but you know, we do this for fun. This is why I do this. I do this to stay sane during the week. That is why I podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm a little upset about my polo. I wanted my ugly Christmas sweater, but I donated it in the move.
I thought about before I was running out the door that I think my parents bought some of those the little reindeer antler things that you can stick to your heads.
Oh yeah.
They bought one for their dog, and I was like, maybe I should grab that from the dog, but
take it from the dog and wear it.
So that's how hard up I am for Christmas stuff, but that's why I have to come here for Christmas, because there's just nothing in my house that's going to be Christmas related, other than my roommate's stuff, but.
Oh, I thought you were I thought you were talking about like your parents' house. I was like, why?
No, yeah, that's I go to there to have Christmas. So
yeah, well, so my wife's she likes Christmas, so we've actually we just we polished off all of her Christmas cookies. She's gonna do a second round.
Nice.
She was mad because my boss, he was supposed to share with the entire everyone. And he ate all of them.
Wow.
He ate all of her Christmas cookies. She's like, damn it!
Must have been good cookies.
They're pretty good. They're like sort of your normal like shortbread cookies, but with like the frosting on top and the sprinkles. The sprinkles just make it like.
Dad's girlfriend, I went saw them last weekend, and just gave me like this giant big container full of like chocolate covered things, like chocolate covered like peanut butter cracker things and pretzels and nuts and whatnot.
That's the best thing about the holiday season is like people lose their damn mind and they cover things in chocolate and make cookies and you're like, this is the best. And then for no reason throw them. Like I had a customer give me $10, just as a present. I was like, this is awesome.
For me, having food that costs more than like $1.
Yeah. That's so my problem is like, so I work at a restaurant and so we have the ability to charge food. So I'll have like a cheeseburger on a dime. Now.
I've been cooking more at home, which is weird.
I'm starting to as well.
Last year and whatnot, all I did was just order takeout.
Yeah, we cook a lot. We do a lot of cooking. What is it? Like we were making like she made lasagna the other day. Oh, we have this. So we got this cookbook from that's like food from movies. And there's this movie called Chef that has Jon Favreau in it where he's he has like a food truck that's like Colombian food maybe. I don't remember. And so he makes food for Scarlett Johansson at one point. It's supposed to be like this most amazing food, and it's like called pasta al olio something or other. And what you do is you thinly slice like garlic, and then you crisp that up, and then you put it in with olive oil, and then you throw in like some pasta noodles, and then you put in like lemon juice and parsley, and then some red pepper flake. It's very simple. My wife tried to make it the other day. Like, I made it and it was awesome. My wife tried to make it the other day and it tasted like soap. She's like, I did everything the same. And we were discussing the process. And so rather than, it's weird. I think this is what happened. So rather than thinly slicing the garlic, she just squeezed it in there like she did we have the garlic press. So she just squeezed all the garlic right in there, juice, all of it. And it just went in there. And I think that's what happened. And on top of that, she cut back the red pepper flake flavor. And then she used dry parsley rather than fresh. So, yeah. She was so mad. I ate the whole thing because I'll eat food.
Yes.
We all know me. Like, I'll eat.
What's the...
Oh. I'll be right back. We're going to be right back.
Wi-Fi password too.
We're back. He wasn't asking for the Wi-Fi password. Sorry. I thought he was asking for the Wi-Fi password. I'm like, I will give that, but not live on camera because Chris is outside my bushes, and I'll be damned if he gets my Wi-Fi password without paying for it. That's right, Chris. What did he say? You're criticizing your wife cooking, having the dog in the house with me. I'm so lonely out here in the doghouse. I need someone to play with, JK. My wife, she is a good cook. She can cook homey type stuff. She makes meatloaf. She makes lasagna. I'm the more adventurous cook, or like I'll do grilling, like I'll smoke stuff from time to time. Yeah. She's more of like a basic, like she likes to make the basic stuff, the classic Christmas cookies.
We only make basic stuff at home, like basically like spaghetti.
You know what? I lost it. I was gonna say something, but you know what I miss though? Like mac and cheese, like Kraft.
I was made mac and cheese yesterday.
SpaghettiOs. Like my wife does not tolerate that. So ironically, she's a personal trainer. So she's like, ugh. Like when it comes to unhealthy food, I have to get it where I can. You know, it's not normally from the house.
Love unhealthy food. Lately, I've been craving B-dubs.
B-dubs. This is not sponsored by B-dubs, but if you want to send us wings, we'll eat them.
You know, there was a really nice place in Ames I ended up finding over finals week because, you know, I've been saving my money all through the semester, and then finals week, it just all goes out the window because I hate myself and I just want to eat whatever that I want to eat.
Right.
So I ended up at, there was a steak burger. It's steak burger and frozen custard, and...
Oh.
It's right off of the main University Avenue drag, right by Fuzzy's Tacos.
What is it called?
It's like, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. It's just like the owner's name, steak burgers, and frozen custard.
There's like a one I went into Cedar Falls that apparently it's a small chain one, but it was like the same stuff. It was delicious.
Maybe Eddie's frozen or Eddie's steak burgers, but. Yeah, it was and yeah, the whole theme of the restaurant is like the 1950s diner type of thing, and
kind of like Steak and Shake,
or In-N-Out Burger for people who've been out west. But
so I should really get so since you live over there, like my brother-in-law and my sister like lived over by that area. I can't remember where they were at that point. Yeah. State Center maybe. But they lived over by that area, and they were at Ames constantly, and there are, like, they would, whenever we would go visit them, they would want us to go out to eat with them, and they have some really good places to eat in Ames. Like, my favorite actually was this British pub that he found, like the actual owner was a British guy.
Yeah.
And, I got some Scotch eggs from there, and goddamn, that was the best. Like, I'll eat Scotch eggs now, no problem. The mustard was awful. Like, I put that in my mouth. And I was like, oh. But it's like it was really, really good. And then we went to an actual like Irish restaurant bar that was over by there as well. Something. Maybe the British pub was like the Plucky Duck or something like that. And the Irish bar was something else, but it was
I go by the
food.
I think I go by the Irish place every time that. I go into campus, but yeah, a lot of great places to eat. I can't afford any of them.
Right? Maybe you will when you get IT, like when you actually start working IT.
Well, it's IT's not really what I'm.
Yeah, not okay.
For,
is cyber security?
Penetration testing is yeah. It's a great job title.
Is that literally what it's called?
Yes.
You gonna put that on your resume?
Yes, you do. You absolutely do.
Penetration tester.
You gonna put that on your LinkedIn there?
The master of penetration.
Master penetration tester.
But yeah, it's back and forth.
Oh shit.
That's kind of the attacker side of things, and then you have the defense side, and I'll be playing both sides more than likely. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking into, and. Up into or including during the winter break right now, I've been trying to get into bug bounty hunting, which companies will go online and they will ask people to try to break into their software, and they will offer you either money or they'll thank you on their website, and that's stuff that you can put on your resume as well. So I've been trying to get into that. I've been learning HTML and what was it? All sorts of different scripting languages, PHP. It's been...
I like how, in the early days of me on Twitch, because you have to do like a little bit with like trying to learn how to like make text look very specific.
Yes.
CSS is my nightmare.
It was
awful.
It's my nightmare now too.
And then there's actually the guy who, like, he's the reason why the podcast actually looks kind of nice, because we're running off of like a $50 shitty webcam. Color correction. He does a lot of CSS with like animating. So we had a follow. So Mario popped in and stuff. He designed that. And like the animation that pops up with the text is all CSS, and that's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
Like,
I've just for my stream I've used like pre-made sites that'll do that for you.
yeah, you can do that. I mean, there's a lot of free stuff out there. And that's why I took up his stuff, was because like it just adds like a little extra notch, like Mario popping in. If someone were to sub, Charizard jumps in, and like, well, no, okay. So if they just do a 1 month subscription, it's Charmander. If they do a 2 month subscription, it's Charmeleon. If they do a 3 month subscription, it's Charizard. Pops in, he's like, and like shoots fire. It's fucking cool.
Year subscription, Mega Charizard.
Yeah. Well, so, and then if I do, well, so I don't think they have actual like year subscriptions.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I was thinking about doing for Prime members. He's also got a Bulbasaur one, and that one's the most complicated but cool. He like pops in, the name pops up, and then Bulbasaur does a whip, and it cuts the name into 4 segments, and it just drops away. So, and he designed all that.
Yeah.
He's also like, this is his hobby. Like, he's mostly like famous for like production work.
Yeah.
Him and his wife got famous on Vine. Like, they were the ones that were like, I wish that I could be like the cool kids. Whenever they moved their hand, like, they would turn nerdy and then they would turn back. So he's absolutely incredible. Like, his name's Harris Heller. He just finished, I think, a 24-hour stream today, where he's making a shit ton of money. Like, I think someone said like 170 subs, like subscriptions, which is like $5 a person. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. But he's really cool. So, but he does all the CSS work. He animates all the stuff, which I'm trying to learn how to animate those, because I want to. Like, I want to be able to make... Like, I thought it'd be cool to have, like, a Ninja Turtle pop in and, like, slap a pizza up, and then you see the person's name, like, when he slaps the pizza on there. Like, that would be cool. And then you could sell that stuff, too, yourself, or hand it out for free, because that gives you some clout and stuff, and people follow you and check it out. But it's...
A lot of the bigger streamers hire people to do that stuff for them.
Yeah, like, Ninja pays people
Yeah.
a lot to do, like, even his layouts and stuff. This is me. I designed this corner here. This Will, right? I designed Will. Will is actually just a CSS template.
Yes. It's very sophisticated.
Yeah, he actually went rogue and went to college.
It's recursion.
Yeah, it's
evolving.
It's scary. I'm just glad he didn't go rogue and try to murder me like most robot movies.
It was like the Microsoft AI that said they want to put all humans in zoos or whatnot.
Yeah, they started shutting off AIs because every time they go a little crazy and cuckoo and start talking, and then apparently sometimes people don't know it, but they talk to each other.
Yeah,
it's like don't let them do that.
There was like the Facebook ones that started talking to each other.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
They like made like their own like secret language and stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Elon Musk like put out a thing, was like, hey, Facebook, you guys, stop doing that. Like, stop letting that be a thing, because he's not a big fan of all that. Will is the next Bender from Futurama.
That's kind of funny.
Bite my shiny metal ass. That would be cool. Yeah. Because Bender does kind of go rogue, doesn't he?
I mean, often, but...
Yeah, but like in the original...
Breaks his programming, like that's their whole original episode. Is like, I can bend things that isn't a girder.
Yeah. Then he just becomes kind of a drunk, which was. I think I remember watching.
No, it was like if he stopped drinking is when he actually like acted drunk.
Oh yeah, and he'd get like rust around his face.
Yeah.
That was cool, which would be kind of his drunk beard. Those were like good times. Like that shit was coming out like when we were at your house. There's so many things that I saw at your house for the first time, like Samurai Champloo, I think.
Oh God.
No, what was it? The Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai.
We watched Freaknik. You got me to watch Freaknik.
Guy. I still occasionally like will listen to some of the songs from that.
Didn't he come out with a second one? Is there a second Freaknik?
One.
I thought there was a discussion for a second one coming out or something like that, and I was like, "Ooh!" Look, I almost texted you that, or just
sweet.
Facebook messaged you it.
I think Tenacious D was probably first encountered over at Ty's house for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hey, you know what I remember being at Ty's house, Will being like, "Hey guys, hey, you gotta watch My Little Pony with me." That was the best. Will goes. Here, come on. And Ty's like, no, I'm playing a game.
He had the right idea.
Come on. And so Will pulls it out, and the best part is like the opening says, "My Little Pony," and Will goes, just push through it, guys. Just push through it. There were some cool references. I couldn't get into it. But Will was a full-blown brony for a while.
I ended up watching all the scenes at one point when I was babysitting a bit. So I just, like, I don't know. It was easy to keep a child entertained just sitting down.
Would you say that you were a brony?
No.
No.
I mean, I can name like the main ponies, but that's about it.
I don't think I can. I watched. I really gave it a try. Will, like, off of your recommendation, I fucking tried.
Yeah.
It's just not built into me.
Our Christmas wrapping paper this year, we ended up just getting My Little Pony wrapping paper because they had it at Target.
I dig it. But you said, like, you're not a brony no more.
That is a dark part of my past.
Not gonna go to pony conventions anymore?
No, thank you. Oh, just not my thing.
You went to a whole convention, didn't you?
I went to quite a few.
Did you really?
I went to my first anime convention in June. The one in Des Moines.
Oh, Anime Iowa.
Yeah.
Drizzt. So that's the name of one of our hosts, our main hosts. He went and he had I think it was even the last episode. No, it was the episode before. He had a whole rant about Anime Iowa. He was very mad about Anime Iowa. Is that where you dressed up as, like, were you Sailor Moon or were you a Sailor Moon character?
Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say.
Wore that same costume for Halloween, and me and the girlfriend ended up winning a Halloween contest at a bar. Got a $100 gift card at the bar.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
For the bar or just?
For the bar.
It was a good costume.
Ended up just
ended
up just paying for everyone's drinks that night.
I will not knock you dressing up as Sailor Moon. Like, it looked good, buddy. It looked good. Did you shave for that?
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. In his spare time, Will dresses up in a My Little Pony outfit. No, that's actually my brother-in-law.
Yeah, I knew some people who did, but again, dark and stormy past. Oh.
Man, I got a Harley Quinn onesie the other week. They're having sales at Spencer's, so I just decided to get a onesie.
Oh, okay.
They're very comfortable.
I don't have a onesie, but I am into pajamas and stuff. I actually just discovered wool socks.
Wool socks are nice.
I need to get my wool socks, ones that have like holes in them.
We were at a Packers game and my socks got wet. And they said, like, if you, like, the one thing you have to know at these games is, like, if your socks get wet, you're absolutely miserable. So I bought a pair of, like, $11 wool Packers socks and I put them on and I was like, oh.
Wool's amazing. They dry super fast and.
Oh, they're so, like, it's so, and then I put it on before work the other day and I was like, this is the best day at work. Was just those socks. I might kind of want to put them on now. Damn it. Like I told my wife, I'm like, I know it's too late for Christmas, but if you want to get me wool socks, hit me up. Like I'm 100% into wool socks right now. PUBG's on sale right now? I just got an email. PUBG's on sale for $20.
There's a live action PUBG movie now.
Is it really?
It released on the PlayStation Store, I know.
Yeah.
The trailer's kind of funny because it's some guy just beating other people up with a frying pan.
I don't get the gameplay loops of those the battle royales because it just seems like a lot of the best strategies just like sit in place and camp for like 30 minutes and then
it works if you want to play that way, but
yeah,
it's still fun to just run around and do so.
I don't know. I played Fortnite for like 2 minutes. I had a panic attack and quit because I didn't have anybody to play with and I didn't know what I was doing. So because it seems like the best way to play those games is with friends.
Yeah.
And so playing it on my own, I was like, and I just like I was done. I was out.
I played a bit of Battle Royale games. I played Fortnite for a bit. Played PUBG, and I got the new Call of Duty that has the Battle Royale mode in it.
Oh yeah, I have a friend who that's all he plays. He has a squad of friends that get together at his house and play, and I haven't touched it. And he bought an Xbox One simply because he lives right next to McDonald's, so he streams off of the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Like he plays the Battle Royale off of their Wi-Fi.
That'd be good.
Well, he said for a PS4 it was awful, but he said on an Xbox One it plays like gold.
The Wi-Fi
that's
good.
crazy. Apparently, yeah.
So.
And for McDonald's not to be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I don't think anybody at McDonald's cares. We have at least 2 McDonald's employees on the podcast, and they have great stories. They have awesome stories. If you want to hear McDonald's trash talk, like it's awesome. They don't care. Like they do not care. I just want to be there when some of that stuff goes down because it sounds awesome. Because I'm in a restaurant setting where we like, woo, like at least on the floor we have to care a little bit, you know. They don't. They're McDonald's. They've had people chuck burgers at their faces. So
I've had stories from working at Pizza Hut for like a year or so. It was.
Did you work at the Grinnell Pizza Hut or just a different one?
Des Moines one.
The Des Moines one?
South side of Des Moines.
Okay.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any. I think I have a lot of respect for people who work fast food, and work in those areas.
After delivering pizza for a while, I've started tipping a lot more for people.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? I remember when I worked at Jimbo's for the first time, like Dustin called me out for delivery, and he gave me like a sack of change.
Oh, no,
I feel like I remember.
Was that you?
Yeah.
You dumped like a sack of change in my hands.
And my dad ended up giving you like.
Yeah, and your dad got pissed and then handed me more money.
Did he give you like a $20 bill or something?
It was a huge tip. And I come back and so my boss is counting all that change and he's going, "What the fuck?"
That was a decent amount of change.
It was a lot. But he was pissed because he had to count all of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, why do you have so much change in your... And I'm like, I went to a friend's house and he tipped me with change. And he was like, fuck your friend, man. Like, he was so bad counting all of it.
You had to turn in all your tips?
Yeah, so you would turn it in and then they would do the whole tax thing and they would take it out and then give you what was left.
Oh.
It's actually, I think it's a better idea.
Pizza Hut, we could...
it is, but it isn't.
We were supposed to, like, keep record of how much we got on night, but they just let us do it, the keeping ourselves. So
Yeah. So here's what sucks about a tip job is like, at the end of the year with taxes, no matter what you need to at least report that you make like $7.25 an hour with your combined stuff. No matter what though, that still means a good chunk of your money. Like you never get money back for taxes. You owe money always. And I hate that. Like I hate, I liked when I was in college and I was making like $2,000 in tax. Like I was getting like a grand or $2,000 back in taxes every year. I was like, this is the best. And then I became an adult with a tip job and I get shit back every time. And then for some reason the tax, because my wife and I actually pay a tax person to do it. Tax man, every time, like his rate goes up like $20 a year. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And his rate is going up. Probably because his rate is going up and then he's got people leaving and it's just a circle of life. I don't know. That was my tax rant for today. But okay, guys. Well, I think we're gonna end here. Because it's been about a 2-hour podcast. Yeah. I tried to shoot for like an hour and a half, but the past like month or so has been pretty long. So we're gonna end here. But here's what I'm gonna say: a huge thank you to our follower today. Thank you, Chris, for showing up, and thank you, Will and Ty, for like actually coming and joining me on the podcast. Like, it's one of those things where like if this were even 5 years ago, I'd probably have you guys as regular hosts, but it's been a long time.
Hope we didn't.
Oh, Chris is giving me some. That's Dank. That's one of the streamers. His name is Smoking Dank 5280. That's his emoji.
Good lie.
So, but you know, it's just kind of a dream to have some of my old friends and stuff, like the people who I originally like talk nerdy with.
Yeah.
All the time. It's nice to have you guys here, because these are the OG guys. These are the guys that inspired. Like, whenever I thought about doing a podcast, I'm like, I've had a lot of fun conversations. Like, these guys, these are the ones. These are the ones who kind of started it all, gave me the dream, and now we get to live it here on the podcast. Also, Merry Christmas, because by the time you're gonna be listening to this,
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Oh, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. I may not even talk to you before I might talk to you before the New Year, but nope, it's not. It's gonna be a Happy New Year. Have a great rest of your 2018. Have great times with your family. Drink lots of cocoa. Even whether or not there's, like, we're in Iowa, there's no goddamn snow here.
Yeah, don't say that.
I heard there's supposed to be flurries tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just flurries. Like, I guess like over Christmas there's gonna be some slush.
There should be a pretty big storm going out when my sister is flying out. So.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yep.
Well, hopefully she has to. So you guys have a great rest of the year. We're gonna be back in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna be talking about Aquaman, and I'm gonna be talking about Bumblebee, because I'm going to try and have seen both of those for the turn of the year. Maybe I'll have more to say about Smash. I myself have not played enough Smash.
Yeah.
I want to smash some, but I just don't have time. But I will when I'm on the road and my wife's driving. So guys, thank you so much. Just remember, if you want to catch us live, you can catch us live every Wednesday at noon Central. You can watch us live at twitch.tv/justanothernerdypodcast. You can also watch us. You can watch us on YouTube later on. If you don't have enough time to watch us live, you can catch the rest on YouTube. Just Google Just Another Nerdy Podcast. You'll find this mug. I'll be holding 2 surge cans, looking real excited. And finally, if you want, and you got like a nice car trip or a plane ride, or you're traveling over the holidays, you can listen to us. You can download us, put a little nerdy in your pocket. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Castbox, if that's your fucking speed. So, guys, we're going to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.
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 Oh, shit. I always do this. I'm so bad at this. For real this time. Bye.
Bye.
Nope. No, I did it again.
No, that was not the right wipe.
We're going to...
We're back.
Okay. Bye.